is Sam Bushman. Mario's not up yet.
What's going on, everyone? Long time no see. Chris Bushman back again for kind of a stream sort of thing, more of a surprise update. Mike, hi. Surprise update, sort of catch up on what's been happening. I mean, it's been a while since I have streamed. And also on the line should be Sam Bushman. Say hi, Sam Bushman.
Gang, the better Bushman here, coming at you.
He's talking sometime nonsense. You're all right. You're all right. But yeah, so you guys may have noticed or may not have noticed that I haven't really done a whole lot of streaming for like the past month. And it hasn't gone unnoticed by me, and that's not exactly by accident either. Part of it was I needed a little bit of a break, to be honest. I went pretty hardcore in June for streaming with exercising, with maddening, with gameplay, all kinds of stuff. And I had events come up. Cool events I'm going to update you on now. So we're going to kind of get that going first. Some quick updates of what's happening for those who are watching. And then we'll sort of just transition into some NFGL business for the month of August. So firstly, Maddening is not done. Far from it. In fact, I was kind of considering the first decade to be Season 1, if you will, informally. And with some feedback I've gotten from the stream and some observations I've made and others have made about the stream, trying to reform what's going to make a better stream for Season 2. Season 2 being the next decade of Madden games, going from 2001 up to 2010. And that should get us well into when the next game comes out. And then we're going to have some prep for Season 3 later on to kind of finish off the reoccurring games and then some. So that'll be coming up. I'm going to have more of a formal announcement later on, but I figure those who decide to join get the update. Number 2, on the topic of the Maddening, I actually have the pleasure of giving a panel talk coming up for the Maddening stream and stuff about football in general at a convention known as Mag West. That's in Santa Clara at the end of August. I believe it's going to be on August 26th through the 28th. I'll get a more formal announcement about what the days are. I kind of wanted to wait for some of those plans to formalize before making any kind of announcement. I have officially received the acceptance of my panel talk, which is what is the best RPG and why it's Madden football. And of course having all the paperwork in as well. So that's all done and it's official. So we'll have a cool announcement about that coming up as well. But again, if you're here live, you get it first. With that being said, Sam's on the line here. He actually had a pretty interesting idea that we just ran through, trying to figure out what the lineup should be for this upcoming month for NFGL. Now that I know I'm going to be streaming some more with it this month. There's a lot of games to sort of go through, especially because I've recently acquired, a bunch of games. I recently got back from Classic Game Fest out in Austin, Texas, and they had some $1 game bins. And with those, they had a lot of games in them. So I got some choices to make, and instead of me making all the choices, I'm kind of electing Sam to help me out. So, Sam, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to sort of show some games I got on the live camera here, and then you just help me talk through what I should be picking. However, the only restriction is there's one game I'm definitely playing this month, and I'll announce that first here. And this is without even going through the season sets, so I don't even know what those are yet. I'm just saying I'm going to pick some games because I need some more games in my life. And the first one's going to be Baldur's Gate 2. I actually picked this up for $1, and it came with the expansion pack and everything. And I'm playing this on my Windows 98 box. Recently built a Windows 98 desktop that's running a Pentium 2 processor with 350 megahertz clock speed. So we're going to play through Baldur's Gate 2, kind of a legendary game. I've heard people like Derek Atwater and others talk about how great of a game it is. And that's what I want to start with. So we're starting with that. And from there, Sam, I want to feed you a bunch of games I got lying around. And I need your help.
Also, I hope there's an opportunity for Q&A somewhere in here because I have burning questions.
Of course, of course. So, I mean, yeah, let's do this. Let's do some Q&A right now, and then from there, then we'll start picking some games out because I don't want the questions to sort of simmer there too long. Does that sound good?
Appreciate that as your audience member. So firstly, I gotta ask, with the Season 2 of Maddening, it's driving me mad.
Madness.
How good are the Browns going to be in Season 2? What's your perspective?
Well, it depends on how you want to gauge good. You see, there's, like, if you look in the context of general teams, bar none, the Browns are just going to blow them away. That's greatness in general. So that kind of is default, if you will, with the Browns in a Madden game. But in terms of Browns teams, that's the true question. And I believe they're on a resurgence. They're a resurgence of a greater Browns team. Because we're getting into the years of Tim Couch, of Dilfer. We might even hit some McCoy year. Well, no, McCoy's going to be later on. But we might get some Jake Delhomme. I mean, we're going to get some classic quarterback play with the Cleveland Browns coming up. I mean, some might say these are disappointments, but I mean, this will be action-packed.
I've heard
I think that's... Yeah.
Problems, they're opportunities.
Yeah. In a certain Wally World speak, these are opportunities. These aren't problems or issues. Yes, absolutely.
That's really what I find interesting about the Madden. It's not the story of NFL. It's not the story of video games. It's the story of the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely. The Browns are what it's all about at the end of the day. Hands down. And for those of you also who might be joining up by any chance, I do have a Discord window open in the NFGL channel. We're going through the general text channel. So if you have any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to jump in there. I'm also looking at the YouTube chat. It's not going to be up in the video footage this time, but feel free to comment and all that good stuff. I am watching. It's okay. Fair question. What else you got for me? Shoot.
What else do I have for you? I had a second question, but I got so enamored by the first question that the second question's gone.
Understandable. I mean, we're talking about legacies here, and of course. Well, perhaps while you ponder your next question, I want to start jumping into some of these game suggestions to try to get an idea of how you, Commissioner Sam, feel about these, and ultimately what should we be choosing. Okay? Sound fair? I assume that sounds fair. So, we're going to jump into it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I had some acquisitions on the PlayStation recently. The three that I'm looking at here is, one, Civilization 2 on the PlayStation. Now, this being that classic type of strategy game, might be a little more difficult to play on the PlayStation compared to the PC. However, I actually don't have a copy of Civilization 2 Vanilla on the PC. I think it's like a remake they did later on that changed some of the units and balancing, but for classic Microprose Civilization 2, got that on the PlayStation. So that's an ideal one.
So what's drawing you to such a big game as Civilization 2 and PlayStation?
Well, I have always been fascinated by the Civilization games in general. I played some of 3. I think that was actually your copy. I played a little bit. I picked up 5 later on. And while I found the games very engaging, I very much get roped into that whole next turn sort of mentality and end up sucking up a night of my life. Not quite as much as Sim Golf, which definitely does that. But
it's pretty amazing.
It is a pretty amazing game. But I always wanted to get an opportunity to really play through Civilization. I found that pretty cheap it was at a flea market back in July 4th when I went to Ohio. And so I thought it was a good opportunity to pick it up. I've always been also fascinated with the PC ports that end up like on the PlayStation and the Genesis and things like that. So the size does not intimidate me, even though I'm going through Baldur's Gate 2, and that's going to be a large game in and of itself. If I have to tackle a couple large games, at this point, it may not be as much about beating them as more of playing through them and getting to spend some good time with it. Especially with Civ 2, where that game may not even have it may not have an end necessarily. So
there might be interest there as far as narrative while you're streaming it, right? Because that's gonna be a very big game.
Sure.
And long stretches, like you're gonna make a decision and it's gonna ripple out.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see, like, what kind of nation do you want to be? Do you want to be a warmonger? Do you want to be a peacemaker?
Sure. Absolutely. Do I want to be Fist of the North Star, or do I want to be a peaceful dictator? I mean, it's all up to me. So that's number 1, okay? Another PlayStation title, which these next 2 are from the same batch I picked up. It's Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4: Wall of Fire. Now, again, this is a little bit of a larger game. Another strategy game. I'm kind of feeling like a strategy game is in order, but this is more of a war game variety. I never played any of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games at all. But again, I've liked a lot of the games Koei's put out. I've always heard good things about Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and PlayStation's a very friendly place for a much larger game, and it was cheap. So, that's another possibility. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4. Then, to switch it up a little bit, I found a sports game put out by the makers of NFL Game Day. This being a baseball game called MLB Pennant Race, which got all kinds of fun little stickers from like video stores and such. But yeah, same guys from behind Game Day did this baseball game. So once I saw that, I thought that was a kind of a cool idea where I could try out a franchise that I played quite a bit with friends, that being Game Day and then Game Breaker, but see how the baseball series went, even though I don't think they made too many of these pennant race games. So that's another possibility.
How much video baseball have you played?
Probably the most video baseball I've played are mixed between World Series Baseball 95 on the Game Gear, and then there was a futuristic baseball game on the Super Nintendo. We played quite a bit. I think you and I may have played it quite a bit, like in the camper years and all that.
I vaguely remember.
You could have almost Lost in Space looking robot guys be pitchers. You had some humanoid players as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. I remember seeing a review of it later and being like, I remember kind of playing that, and I didn't really like it.
So I enjoyed it. So I mean that.
Oh
so
wait,
that,
you also like the majors.
What's up? You said talk about the majors. I do have that. I didn't play a whole. So me playing that game was more of I'd play it, get beat really badly, and then that'd be about it. So I haven't done a whole lot of that. So there's those three to start out. Then there is some of the games I wanted to tackle in July, which would be Robo Recall on the Oculus Rift. Because I got that for free with the Rift, and I never got to touch it. It always looked really fun. People have talked about it. Can't go wrong with that. And I haven't really done too much streaming with the VR headset since, oh man, I would say when I was doing some of the test streams early on. I was looking at like Galaxy Golf, which has changed names since, and Project Cars. So there's Robo Recall. Then
I
there's
played
also,
Robo Recall. Robo Recall is actually really good.
That's what I keep on hearing. That's what the kids are saying. So, Robo Recall.
If I may also, VR suggestion if we're going down the VR route.
Okay.
Did you catch that?
No, the audio did not come through.
Super Hot VR.
Super Hot VR. I do not have that game.
You can get it.
What's up?
You've played. You know what Super Hot is, right?
I do know what Super Hot is. Yes.
Now you're bullshitting, figuring out as you go by standing in one place and having to grab shit and throw
I got you. I know of the game. Absolutely.
It's incredible.
I just don't own the game. So part of that is in the spirit of the only restriction I would have is probably games that I have in my backlog to play through.
That's fair.
So it's a good suggestion. So if it comes up in the library in the future, absolutely, that's a good possibility. But yeah, I don't have that one right now, unfortunately. I have like
we all make mistakes.
Yeah, I have Star Trek Bridge Crew. I have a bunch of PSVR stuff. I got a lot more other Oculus Rift games, but at least I'm feeling like Robo Recall might be one I want to hit because it seems like it's one of those foundational VR games on the Rift in terms of store purchases and things like that. So there's that. Then we get into some of the more interesting PC games I picked up at Austin during the Classic Game Fest. Notably would be another D&D license game, as well as an RPG I had never heard of, but had some it had some stylistic similarities to like Midgar in Final Fantasy VII, which worked for me pretty well. And we'll start with that one here. It's called Septerra Core: Legacy of the Creator. And this is a game from 2005 for the PC, and it's a turn-based RPG using pre-rendered backgrounds and environments with sprites for your characters, going on some sort of epic RPG adventure on the PC. It has voice acting and the whole bit. You can create and cast up to 120 individual spells. You have over 200 locations. You can choose up to 9 party members, each with unique motivation, skills, and background, so on and so forth, and 140 characters in a complex multi-level world. So it's got numbers to say how great it is. So yeah, that's Septerra Core right there. That was a very curious pickup. And then the other D&D licensed game is Pool of Radiance: Ruins of Myth Draenor. Now this is another turn-based RPG using the same engine as, I think it was just using the same engine as Baldur's Gate 1. But instead of being a real-time action RPG, it's another turn-based RPG. Apparently, it's not very good from what I saw some reviews, and if I installed it in a particular way, I could wipe my whole computer if I uninstall it. So, hey, risk reward, but it might be worth a check out, see what it's all about. And again, it's a cheap pickup. The $5 price tag is not correct. I got this thing for $1. So there's that, Pool of Radiance.
Long, big games on your list.
There is. Again, that's why we're not choosing them all. We're choosing pieces here. For a shorter game choice, perhaps, we have Haley Wars on the Game Gear. Now this was, I think it was like a $12 pickup I got at the festival because it was like a game shop vendor that was there. But this is a top-down shmup on the Game Gear in space. Haley Wars. Whoa. That's about it. But a much shorter form game. And then, they had some Xbox and PS2 games. So I'm going to pick you, and you. 3 of these. And we'll go the rest of the side. We have, and these are all $1, by the way, as well. Got Dead to Rights on the Xbox. It's almost kind of like a Max Payne sort of clone, but a really good one. And it's more of a beat 'em up style than what Max Payne is. But Dead to Rights on the Xbox. You're a cop who is framed for something. You got a dog that kills people.
You've been framed. You have to unframe yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And then with the GOAT himself on the front cover, NFL Game Day 2003 on the PS2. Now, this is one of the later Game Days released. I don't think it's quite the last one, but it's pretty close there. And it's one of the earlier ones that actually feature online capabilities as well. So you can have broadband play up to 8 players on the PS2 with Game Day 2003 with Tom Brady, the GOAT. Classic 99 Studios. And then another classic online PS2 game, which actually probably cemented online play for the PS2. It's SOCOM US Navy SEALs. That is a squad-based shooter in the era of 4-people squad-based shooters. You may remember like Conflict, Desert Storm, and all of that. This falls right in there. And so this will be more of an action-oriented game, trying to take down 12 dangerous missions going all over the world as U.S. Navy SEALs. So there you go. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEAls. Get my bro on, sirs. Then, a couple more choices, and then we'll see what Sam thinks. Not to overbearing yourself with such. Don't want to burden you with all these things. Gonna dip into the bag here. Got 2 more games here. I have the Floygan Brothers on the Dreamcast. Now, for those, I don't know how much you guys may pay attention to the Dreamcast homebrew scene, but probably 4 or 5 months ago, they were able, some homebrew guys were able to work with some of the original developers to create a patch that unlocked all the quote-unquote seasonal DLC that would release for Fliggin Brothers. Because all that DLC, you actually went and download those locked in the game, and you need particular codes downloaded onto a save file to actually unlock them. So they worked with the developers to unlock all that DLC. It's like sometimes bonus levels or bonus costume items, things like that. But that was done in the past year. So when I saw this, I'm like, hey, I can finally pick that up, try it out. And it's like a team-based puzzle solver game. And the Fliggin Brothers are some guys that own a junkyard. One's a big doofus, one's a skinny, what you would call, kind of a skinny, small, Napoleon complex kind of guy. But that's a relationship, and you solve puzzles. Fliggin Brothers, Dreamcast. And then for the final game that would be what we would do for this. Where is it at? Oh, I had it in here somewhere. Come on. I just had it out. Well, I'll use the expansion because I can't quite find it right now. But while I was digging through some games, I remembered how much, and this would be a repeat game, by the way, so this is one I've actually already beaten, but I'd want to play through it again. It was probably one of the earliest shooters I played on the PC for like the Windows XP era type of games. And I mean, Sam, you might remember how I would like chew through a lot of shooters at one point. Like I would just pick one up, play about as much as possible through a single player campaign, and just go through them.
You would take like an afternoon and beat a game.
Yeah.
This.
And so this is one of the earlier games I would do that with. And this would be Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Now this is the expansion, Spearhead. So we go a couple different ways. One, I could play Allied Assault just on its own. Or number two, I could play through Allied Assault and Spearhead. Or three, just Spearhead. Because I actually haven't beaten Spearhead. So kind of how you feel about that, but I kind of wanted to touch Allied Assault again to see if it's as good as I remember. I had a lot of fun with that game when I first bought it. And that was before Call of Duty got big, and then modern Call of Duty got big, and so on and so forth. So, back when Omaha Beach was a new Hoth, so to speak.
I remember when, crap, what was it? Not Call of Duty, but, no, it's Call of Duty. Yeah, when Call of Duty came out, like, oh man, something that's not Moha, but it's doing World War II.
Right.
It had like all those big cinematic moments. And it's like, oh, I remember big scene about taking over Berlin and like cutting down all the Nazi flags and stuff. And I was like, this never happened in Moha. Moha, you just walked down a path.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. It really opened up the World War II shooter quite a bit. I remember Kyle O'Brien talking a lot about Call of Duty. I think we'd go to his house a lot of times to watch him play it. And yeah, it did a lot of things better than Medal of Honor. It was kind of a crazy transition there, and then it's like, whoa, Modern Warfare, they're taking this realism to there, and then it just took off as the next generation of competitive shooters on the consoles. But those are the games I'm presenting to you, Sam. We already have Baldur's Gate 2. So.
Choices. I want to see you playing the Game Gear Shum.
Okay. Haley Wars. All right.
Yes. We gotta find out how the Haley Wars ended.
Of course.
Okay. I think you're gonna have to do Robo Recall because you really want to play it.
Okay.
It'd be heartbreaking not have you do some Ver.
This will be me holding Robo Recall. Oh, here, I can just do this. Robo Recall. Look, Rift. Ooh. As I drop my mouse on the ground.
Good job. Some great prop work, Carrot Top.
Thank you.
All right. The fourth game. What to do for the fourth game? Remember, I consume some of these streams.
So this has got to be good for you, too.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I don't just give. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm leaning away from Civilization 2. You've got some other strong, long-tail game choices.
Yeah.
And played in some regards. Not specifically Civilization 2, not specifically on the PlayStation, but like aged in that as other games. I'm tempted to go with Pool of Radiance, except that you're already playing Baldur's Gate 2.
Right. We can only wizard so much around here.
Baseball. And as much as I want to see a game day game, we're going to get our football fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be madness. And honestly, game day might end up showing up as what? Like maybe one of the scout teams or something?
Most likely. I have other game day games also in the pile.
I'm probably going to get to see game day eventually.
Sure.
Romance of the Kingdoms. Romance of the Four Kingdoms.
It's like you said, Romance of the Four Kingdoms.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
It's about 4 dudes who want to take over China.
Yeah.
Game Gear game in an afternoon as long as you actually sit there and do it.
Sure.
You have some length to it, I don't know. But it'll be a fun experience for guys. So you get to do a lot of moving around, shooting guys and juggling stuff. And then you got your 2 long tails. And I'm assuming really what's going to happen is you're going to play through Baldur's Gate 2 and we're never going to get to see Romance of the Four Kingdoms.
Oh, are we picking Romance?
That's what I said.
Okay. Yeah, that'll probably be on the tail end. Apparently it's 1 to 8 player excitement, it says. And full motion video enhances special events and commands.
I made the right choice.
Okay. So then
Is there a single player campaign in that?
In Romance? It says 1 to 8 player excitement, so there's got to be a 1 player excitement there somewhere.
Sure, but I don't know if it's like, I wonder if it plays like a war game or if it plays like something with a story.
Honestly, I think it plays like a war game. So if you're looking for something a little more story, that's probably not going to have it.
No, no, this is still a fine choice.
Okay.
That's what curious what it's getting into. And also, just sucker a bunch of people in to try doing a long war game session with that.
I can hardly sucker people into doing Madden.
You guys want to play a game that simulates the unification of China? On the PlayStation?
Remember that mouse? Get none of that. I think it'll play a lot like Dragon Force. Except
So really boring and repetitive?
wouldn't quite go there, but I mean that's going to be a lot of the type of play there where there's different officers you can capture and things like that. And then it's not. I mean, you even have. Actually, you do have paths you even go down with different bases and things, it looks like, in cities.
Really wish I liked Dragon Force.
Yeah.
Dragon Force. And the game has a lot of polish, and it's on the Sega Saturn, and these are all good things.
Now, I'm going to throw one more. We'll say it's a wrench in your choices here, because I want to save one in the back end in case you're fully sure you want to do this.
Oh, okay. This is the game show part?
Yes. So, and I think probably the most tentative choice of the 4 is Romance. But I have door number 1, Romance, door number 2, and door number 3. You do not know what door number 2 or door number 3 are. I will say they are on the PC. And they are recent acquisitions.
Real son of a bitch. And also, this is your way of getting out of actually playing Bromance the Four Kingdoms.
Just in case we need to change it up with something that's potentially a little bit shorter form, maybe. Now, because this is what I want to do. I want you to feel like you're gonna be sure about romance, or do you want to try to change it up?
Do I go for the $1 million? God damn it!
So you got 3 doors to choose from. One, you know what it is. You don't know what the other 2 are.
And I don't get any hints, do I?
No Door hints? Number 2 is from the year 2000. Door number 3 is from 2002. So it all fits in that wheelhouse of games I hope.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
I bet they also come on CDs.
They do, luckily.
Great.
And
I almost wish they came on floppies out of spite. You have not played.
And these are ones I have not played.
Okay. What's the game from 2000?
Game from 2000? Door number 2?
Yep.
Positive.
I am. Final answer.
Okay. You have chosen... I'll tell you what you did not choose first. You did not choose Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 from 2002, the sequel.
If it's Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
No. No, what you chose was American McGee's Alice. So, a significantly different game from the pile.
I feel good about that choice.
I thought you would. Nothing against romance. But if you're looking for like entertainment while I'm playing, Alice is going to be doing that. And fun factoid, it was missing disc 2, so I got to decorate my own disc for disc 2 to get this thing going.
Oh.
Yes. But yes, I believe Dan has played through this. So, there you go. So those are the choices for my month here. I'm going to be playing through Baldur's Gate 2. Hopefully with the expansion, we'll see how good I get at it. Robo Recall on the Rift. Woo, VR, oh my god. We're going to play through Haley Wars on the Game Gear. And then American McGee's Alice on the PC. So there we go. So Sam, thank you so much for helping with this update. Appreciate it. And hopefully if those of you who are watching this watch it, I appreciate it. I hope you're excited as I am for these cool upcoming things to help push the NFGL further, as well as push the Manning stream and all that further along. I think it's going to be a really cool experience if we get to actually talk to other people about some of these subjects too, and see if we can share the wealth, you know. That's my goal for the talk, is to have that interesting conversation as well as push some of the ideals of the NFGL along to a much bigger crowd. And I get to play some games. We do some streaming again. So that's all I got. Any final words, Sam?
Sooner rather than later, you're going to see some announcements about this month. What our season sets are.
Okay.
What our high score game of the month is going to be. GL office are working very hard for our audience. And also, just as an off comment, I mean, since you're doing this talk thing and you're going to need content for whatever presentation you're giving, if we happen to do some shenanigans during your stream, that's bound to probably end up somewhere.
Most likely. So, absolutely. Some of the source material will be from content from the stream. So, if people have shenanigans, content they made, things like that, even other ideas, let me know. Post up during the streams and such. You might see it pop up in the presentation I have to give to other people. So, yeah. Yeah, good deal. So, thanks, Kamish, for the updates. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I truly appreciate you watching. For those of you who do, it does mean the world to me. And yeah, let's make something cool happen. So have a great night. See you later this month for gameplaying and talking about Madden for the Maddening Stream Season 2. Cruise Control. The Revenge. Attack of the Clones. Part 2. All of that. Yes. Time for the logo spin.